Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram. Om Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedhase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitayah Pataye Namaha. Om Shri Ramachandraya Namaha. Om Atulita Baladhamam Hemashailaabhadeham Danujavana Krishanum Jnaninam Agraganyam Sakala Guna Nidhanam Vanaranam Adhisham Raghupati Priya Bhaktam Vatajatan Namami. Raghupati Priya Bhaktam Vatajatan Namami. Om Shri Hanumate Namaha. Om Dhyayami Chinmayanandam Gurudevam Mahamatim Prema Purnam Kriyashilam Sada Lokahite Ratam Kripalum Sundarakaram Samartham Satyadarshinam Vacha Tattva Prakashinya Shoka Moha Vinashinam. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Om Namah Shri Tulsi Dasa Sadvarishtaya Dhimate Puritam Hridayam Yena Rama Premamrite Name. Om Shri Tulsi Dasaya Namaha. Hari Om, a warm welcome. Yesterday we saw Ramacharita Manasa Muni Bhavana Birachevu Sambhu Suhavana Pavana. Muni Bhavana with lot of love, devotion, etc. This Ramacharita Manasa, this particular Grantha, Birachevu, I have written, he said. And what does it do? Tribidha dosha dukha darida davana kali kuchali kuli kalushan nasavana. It eradicates, it removes tribidha dosha, adi daivika tapa, adi bhautika tapa, adhyatmika tapa. All of us are, what do you call it, tossed hither and thither by these three tapas. Adi Daivika, those which are not under our control. What are they? Floods, earthquake, famine, etc., etc. They are not under our control. Cyclone, of late cyclone is very common, isn't it? We can't do anything. At best we can pray to Bhagavan. Bhagavan, let the effects of it be reduced. We may pray. Adi Bhautika. What are they? That which are around me to a certain extent, if not completely, to a certain extent, we can reduce. Let us say there is some sound outside. I can close all my doors and reduce the sound. Is it not that much is under my control? Or if some people are shouting at home, we can go and tell them, keep quiet. Under our control. There are certain people who are never under our control. They control us. That is a different issue. That which is under our control, we can control. But those two are okay. Because Adi Daivika Tapa does not come often. It comes once in a time, once in a way. And many more often than not, it comes somewhere else. Not at our place, generally. If it comes to our place, then you and I will not be sitting here. Is it not? So it comes somewhere else. We can at best pray for them. Adi Bhautika Tapa may be from the neighbors, from the surroundings, etc., etc. Even they to a certain extent can be controlled, but the uncontrollable Tapa is our own mind. Adhyatmika Tapa. Adhyatmika Dosha. What does it do? Dukkha, it brings sorrow. Darida, Daridra, poverty. Dhavana, it scorches us with so much of pain and suffering. Isn't it? And it brings lot of hypocritic way of life. All that Kali Kalusha. Kali Kalusha means all those impurities of this life is Nasavana, gets eradicated. This is what we saw yesterday. Continuing in the 35th Doha. Rachi Mahesa Nija Manasa Rakha Pai Susamavu Sivasana Bhasha Tate Ramacharita Manasa Bar Dhare Unama Hiya Hari Har Shihara. Rachi Mahesa, Bhagavan Shivji wrote it first, Nija Manasa Rakha, in his own mind, and at appropriate time, appropriate conditions, at the time when Parvati ji, Shiva, had lot of devotion to Bhagavan Ramchandra ji. When the devotion rose in her and she asked the question. You see, very many times, the people may not be interested. And if you give, they won't take it also. Isn't it? Even there is a saying, you should not feed the child when the child is not hungry. Think. Similarly, not only child, elders also. Now especially during this, ICC World Cup which is going on, people settle down in front of the TV and then with a side table and then varieties of eatables are kept and go on eating, watching the TV. Not only ICC, some serial, some movie, whatever comes. When you watch in your home, mother also is very caring. She also supplies, mother or wife or sometimes children also. Then supply. Nothing is available, no problem. Swiggy is there. Amazon is there. Flipkart is there. Order and bring. And then go on eating. Non-stop. Think. Not like that. The child has to be fed only when it asks for food. Then the child will grow healthily. Isn't it? Similarly, an intellect which is not wanting anything will not absorb anything. My gardener, once in a while he comes. He tells me, Swamiji, don't water the plants. It has to dry. The roots have to dry. When the roots dry and you pour water, not the plant dries away, not like that. The roots have to dry. When you see an indication that the roots have dried, that time give good water. Then you will see the plant grows beautifully. Similarly, the intellect must become dry and wants water. What water? Water of peace, water of joy. When the intellect wants, now intellect is running behind pleasures. When the intellect is thus completely preoccupied with the whims and fancies of the world, it will not be ready to understand the Shastra. It will not be ready to understand this wonderful text. Why Tulsi Dasi takes this much of time is to make our intellect dry, suffer with the whims and fancies. Once you suffer and say, oh God, enough, I cannot tolerate more, then he says, take, give. He will give. Similarly, why all of us? See that even Parvati ji, he was waiting. He kept the Ramacharita in his mind only. He was waiting for the appropriate occasion. When Parvati ji's love for Bhagavan, devotion for Bhagavan, and the desperate need to know about Bhagavan came, she asks Shivaji. And at that time, Pai Susamau Siva Sanabhasha, in the appropriate time, he gave that knowledge. Tate Ramacharita Manasabara. Dhareu Nama Hiya Hari Harashi Hara. With joy. Harashi. Hara Harashi. With joy. He gave that to Parvati ji. You know, the whole purpose of this Ramacharita written by Tulsi Dasi has got one basic undercurrent. What is this undercurrent? Kenapi upayena. In Bhagavatam it is said, Kenapi upayena manah Krishne niveshayet. In whatever way possible, somewhere or the other, let the mind rest in Sri Krishna, says in Bhagavat. Likewise in our Ramaraksha Stotram. In Ramaraksha Stotram, very beautiful line is there. Rame chitta laya sada bhavatume he Rama mamuddhara. Rame chitta sada bhavatume. May my mind constantly be at the feet of Bhagavan Shri Ramchandra ji. And then he says, Kahau Katha. Time and again he will say Kahau Katha, but then even though he says Kahau Katha, even though, now please note, even though Katha has not yet started, it is as good as started, because the preparations for us to understand the Katha in the right perspective has started. Just as when you sow the seed, the sprouts have come. After that, now farming has started. No. Farming started when the land was bought and then the cleaning takes place. That time itself, the agricultural process has started. Similarly, Ramakatha has started when he started in the beginning itself, cleaning our mind, cleansing our mind, and preparing our mind. Preparing meaning what? Making our mind enough fertile for the bija of Ramakatha to be sown. Sadara sanahu sujana manalai. Sunahu means please listen. Kahau katha soi sukhada suhai, that which will bring sukha. Sadara sanahu, sadara sunahu, please listen carefully. Hey Sujana. He says, this is a very beautiful thing. He says, Sujana, he has already declared us as good people. Why? The very fact that we have come to listen to Ramakatha means we are good people. So you don't have to claim yourself as bad. You can say good people. Why? Now I have come to listen to, not 1 day or 2 days. 1 day or 2 days, if you listen, you don't become good. The very fact you decide to listen to Ramakatha completely itself proves that you have become good. Why become good? Because I was not. Simple. Sadara sunahu sujana manalayi. Bring your complete attention. Bring your focus completely. Why? If you are distracted, the whole purpose will become wasteful, futile. Therefore, while listening to the Ramakatha, bring your mind completely. Manalayi. And then, now see, from this 35th Doha onwards, from now onwards, please note, this section, the next section is called Manasa Prakarana. This Doha and then the Chaupai is also Manasa Prakarana. What does it mean? Now he is going to explain, Tulsi Das ji is going to explain what is this Manasa. Why did I name it as Rama Charita Manasa? See, for titling anything, for naming anything, you should know what it is, you see. Why should I title something like that? We will see. First, we will chant the Doha. जसमानस जेहि विधि बयऊ जग प्रचार जेहि हेतु अब सोई कहूँ प्रसंग सब सुमिरि उमा वृष केतु सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय. Time and again, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय. Keep chanting. Keep chanting. Why? That will be very helpful in bringing back our mind from all the distracted areas of life. Therefore, at every doha, or in between also you may chant. But while chanting generally, the tradition is after every doha, not when you chant totally together. When we are chanting while learning, chant. Siyavara Ramachandra. Now, Tulsi Das ji, Sumiri Uma Vrishaketu, having remembered Uma, Parvati ji, and Vrishaketu, Maheshwara, Shivaji, अब सोई कहूँ प्रसंग सब. Now I will tell you all the prasangas. जस मानस जेहि विधि बयऊ. How, now please note, how have I written this manasa? And in what pattern? Why has it been written like that? Jaga prachara jehi hetu. The way it was started, the purpose of the whole thing, and prachara. How did the prachara of Ramacharita took place? How did I start? We have been seeing that. And what was the purpose? How am I going to take it forward? And how does the prachara of Ramacharita take place? All this. Absoi kahavu prasanga sab. I will tell you everything. With that he starts about Ramacharita Manas. Now see, the 36th Chaupai starts like this. Manasa, when we say, we told you that Ramacharita Manasa. Manasa means lake. Now please be attentive, because from this Chaupai, lot of very beautiful thoughts is being given to us to understand the importance of the very Ramacharita Manas. Okay. Manasa means first mind. The first Namakarana, The name of Ramacharita how did it come? Because Shivaji wrote in his mind first. Therefore, Manasa, and then gave it to Parvati ji. The second Manasa is Manasa Sarovara Lake. We all know about it. Many of you would have also visited Manasa Sarovar. Tulsi Das ji, today we have flights and all air conditioned vans and everything. So much of facilities, luxuries are available today to go to Manasa Sarovar. And some people go till there and fearing the cold, they won't even touch the water. Isn't it? For some elderly people, maybe it is not very practical. But generally, I mean to say, those days there were no transport. On foot. Walking. Tulsi Das ji has gone to Mansarovar 2 times. Here in Tulsi Ramayana, he explains it elaborately with beautiful poetry. We will see it now. Manas Sarovar it is. And what is a Sarovar? Lake. Lake of what? Of Ramacharitra. But while we are saying here, Ramacharita Manasa in Loka Bhasha. But Charita means what? Charitra. Of whom? Rama. This is a lake which is filled with devotion towards Rama, and it talks about his Charitra. And then, now see, he explains in this Chaupai particularly, he explains what is this lake? How is this lake formed? One is the physical lake, what we all have seen, and 2, the lake of this beautiful Ramacharitra. He explains it with such beautiful poetry. Sambhu Prasada Sumati Ahulasi Ramacharita Manasa Kabi Tulasi Karai Manohara Mati Anuhari Sujana Suchita Sunilehu Sudhari. Sambhu Prasada. It is only by the grace of Shivaji. Sumati hiya Hulasi. Hulasi here he talks about himself. Though he is called Tulsi, Hulsi here also means Tulsi Das ji only. His mother's name is also Hulsi. Okay. Sambhu Prasada with the grace and blessings of Shambhu. Now please note. There is nothing we can do without the grace of Bhagavan. How much ever we claim, I did it, without me, it would not have been done. Oh, no. There are so many things which happens in the world without our presence. In fact, sometimes it is better we are not there. It might happen better. Think. Somebody went to another Acharya and said, Swamiji, what will happen if I die? What will happen to my wife and children? He said, they will be more happier. Please die. I mean, it not applies to everyone, but that's one anecdote which is said. See, we are not everything. From what we consider ourselves as, we are not everything. Because everything happens only because of the grace of the Lord. When he says Sambhu Prasada, it is because of the blessings, Prasada of Bhagavan Shivaji. He never claims, I did it. We had discussed this earlier. So many people claim that I got it, I did it. But then it actually was done by somebody else. Isn't it? Sambhu Prasada, Sumati hiya Hulasi. Because of the blessings of Shambhu, Sumati, good thoughts have come to me, because of which Ramacharita Manasa Kavi Tulasi, because of which Tulasi has become the Kavi, the poet of Ramacharita Manasa. Karai Manohara Mati Anuhari. Anuhari means Anusari. According to Mati Anusari, Karai Manohara. According to my ability, according to the little knowledge what I have, I will try to bring Manohara Karai. I will try to bring joy in all of your minds. Through what? Ramacharitamanasa. And therefore, Sujana, Suchita, Suni, Lehu Sudari. Sujana, all the good people, Suni, please listen. And they will listen how? Lehu Sudari. They will accept my little flaws. This he has been time and again telling. They will accept my flaws and they will correct it themselves. Like how so many times, so many people, including me, too many flaws we, do. So many mistakes we do. But then good people accept it. They understand what I am intending to say. Like here, for example, I am not a good speaker. I don't have much of vocabulary. This is my limitation. This is how I have grown. So, but there is an inner desire. What is this inner desire? Swanta Sukhaya Tulsi Raghunatha Gata, he said. Similarly, probably I may say Swanta Sukhaya Hamsa Ramacharitamanasa Gata. We may have lot of flaws. If Tulsi Das ji himself claims Loha Sudhari, people please accept, correct it wherever there are flaws, but accept. Why? I am a small person. If he has, let me tell you again, absolutely flawless is Tulsi Ramayana. If at all we find any flaw, it is our understanding which has flaw. Right? So, it is flaw. Even if there is some mistake, some here and there, please accept the limitation, correct it yourself, Sudhari, correct it yourself, and still be with me while we are going through this wonderful text. Now he says, how exactly is this lake formed? Now see, we have so many things. What is that? One is maybe a tumbler of water, a bottle of water, isn't it, we say? They are all containers of water. Then we have a river, which doesn't have a container. It flows at one direction, it flows. Then you have ocean, huge ocean, isn't it? And in that whole ocean, there is so much of huge water in it, and the depth is also it's very deep. That type of water is also seen. And then you have the pond, you have lake, you have that puddle of water. Water everywhere, and each one of them have got its own properties, its own qualities. You have well water, isn't it? You have well, you have pond, you have ocean, you have lake. So many are there. But how is a lake formed? Now see, we will read the next section. There he will explain how a lake is formed. Sumati bhumi thala hridaya agadhu Veda Purana udadhi ghana sadhu Barashahi Rama sujasa barabari Madhura manohara mangalakari. Now we will, for 2 minutes or 3 minutes, whatever we have, we will see how a lake is formed. In a plain land, lake cannot happen. Lake cannot be formed, isn't it? Like for example, in the eastern world, like in Saudi Arabia, etc., which is completely desert, they create a lake, man-made lake. Let us say when there is a land, straight land, What do we do in that straight land? We first dig the mud out of the place. We have to create a huge crater, they call. Lakes are like that only. The Bhagavan's creation, there are natural lakes where there is huge water, like we said, Manas Sarovar. And even in our own towns, in our smaller towns or cities, etc., there are a lot of water bodies available, isn't it? Like for example, where I was brought up in Bengaluru, we all grew playing at the park very next to Alsur Lake, a natural body. They might have made it park may have been very beautiful, man-made, but the lake is Bhagavan made. That is why the whole area is called Alsur, based on that lake. So Alsur Lake. Like that we may have some Mysuru, we have Kukkeranhalli. I always make a mistake in pronouncing that. Kukkeranhalli Kere Desa. Lake body. Now how does it happen? One is, there must be a original natural crater into which the water comes and collects itself. If there is no natural lake, the government comes to the rescue of the people there for water by what? By digging a lake and forming a artificial crater. And how does it get filled? There is an ocean. The ocean has got full salty water. Salty water. And what does it have? How do you get sweet water? The clouds are formed with the heat of the sun. The clouds are formed from the water of the ocean. And the clouds purify that water and then gives rain. And because of the rain, the rivers are formed. And water, wherever it is formed, it flows downwards and gets collected in the lake. And then that lake water is no more salty like the ocean, but that lake has got sweet water, potable water we can drink. Of course, modern lakes are very dirty thanks to all the irresponsible human being throwing dirt and filth and plastic and everything. We should not do it, We should not dirty it. Anyway, coming back. That water is potable water. I am talking of the pure lake, not dirtied by human being. That water is pure and it is sweet water. It is not salty water. This is how a lake is formed. Now, Tulsi Das ji correlates Ramcharitamanas with that particular lake. And it is so beautiful. We will see that tomorrow. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om